show us. Because all I knew about WHDLoad was it was a way to get your games loaded up into a hard drive so you could just play them all. So I went back, did a little bit of research on the WHDLoad site, and surprisingly enough, amongst the wealth of information that's there, I couldn't find a, hey, you're a newbie, let me tell you how to get this thing working.
Did you find it?
I wrote it.
There you go.
You don't find it, make
You can't find it? Write it.
So anyway, as I was going through this, it dawned on me that one of the big reasons for this is the older software was being published before hard drives were readily available, so there were no installations to put disks onto a hard drive, and even on some of the programs that you could hard drive install, they still software protected it with a key disk, so they're like, oh, you can install it, but you still need to put this disk in to run it. So basically what WHDLoad's doing is just a handful of things where it will, they provide installers. A lot of those are community provided. So it's got an install system to take that old software that doesn't have a hard drive installer, gives that to you. The installer will also, and don't know completely what the legalities of this, but the installer will typically strip out any copy protection, so you don't need that key disk anymore, because the crack or what have you to get it on there. And then it also will soft boot the appropriate kickstart for the software. So if it needs a, I've got this set up right now as a 3000 with 3.1, but if the software needs a 1.3 or 2 or whatever, this will provide that when you launch the title. It'll say, oh, here's the kickstart you want, let me give that to you. So that's really what it does. Now right now I don't have it installed on the machine, so I'll hopefully this won't take too terribly long. There's a handful of different things that need to be installed to get things going. So the first thing is actually installer. Let me go to a shell here, and one of the things I've done just for demo purposes is all the dependent software I've dumped onto this WHDLoad volume. So that's all the WHDLoad itself, and it's the other little bits and pieces that this needs. So let's see here. Around here, and then what I do is, this is just the way that I like this. This is just the way I work. When I want to put software somewhere, I'll go to that drive, and then I'll copy it from the WHDLoad volume into that folder or what have you. So the one installer copied into the C drive on this.
Where did the bits and pieces come from?
When I give you this to publish as PDF, it's got all this on there. This installer is interesting because there is one on Aminet. How do we say that? Aminet. But I did find that version was not the latest, and they didn't have the latest there. So there's another HAAGE-partner-EE download that has the newer version of installer.
Well, Hagen Partner, yeah.
Interesting. So they're the ones that devised this originally?
So installer is a program that was developed by Commodore. It's basically just a scripting language, and it's based on Lisp, and it lets you create a script to perform an installation. And they said it was part of their developer kit. So I don't know that this was necessarily something they were expecting people to use, like in their commercial software.
You could develop a CD with it, so.
Yeah. I think the 3.9 in here is because it came from a 3.9 version of the dev kit. So, we copied some stuff and we're good to go. So we needed that first because the actual WHDLoad uses that script for its installation. So without that, I can't do. This is actual WHDLoad that was downloaded from the WHDLoad site. And on this one, it's really just take the defaults. So I just leave it at intermediate, proceed, install for real, no logging, proceed, I let it do the default C drive again, proceed.
That was
Then it will
fast.
help.
It's super fast.
That was pretty fast.
Well, I think the emulation helps.
Yeah,
Well,
that was fast.
The emulation
Yeah.
is really fast. And
It was 2 seconds.
this is faster.
Damn.
This is faster than the regular Amiga 3000. I mean, the 3080.
Well, yeah.
Your mileage may vary.
Wow, that was like 2 seconds. That feels like a PowerPC, you know, like when it's X5000.
Yeah, it does. So fast, there you go.
Dang, that was freaking fast.
Yep.
So if you remember when we were talking about what it does, it also can provide the appropriate kickstart for the software. But that's not included in the load. Obviously, Kickstart's copyrighted software, whatever. They're like, oh, go hunt around and find your own software. One other interesting thing about the Kickstarts is they need these .rtb files to be with the appropriate Kickstart. So the WHDLoad will tell you the actual version numbers of the Kickstarts that it likes to work with. And then there was another piece of software, SACC, which was a soft kicker for soft kicking Kickstarts into your system. And we don't actually have to load the full soft kick package. It just wants these RTB files that SoftKick uses when it brings these Kickstarts in. So it wasn't clear to me if the WHDLoad has its own SoftKick kind of system in it, or if it's installing SoftKick when it installs WHDLoad. But you do have to get that SoftKick package down and find the RTB files and that folder structure, copy it all over. So on my little WHD demo here, I've already put the Kickstarts and the RTBs in one folder, so you can just copy those over.
You need Kickstarts from Amiga Forever, or you just have
Yeah, you can definitely use the Amiga Forever Kickstarts, or if you have other sources of Kickstarts, if you actually know how to actually dump the Kickstart off of your chip into a file, you can do that too.
Well, the Kickstarts are included with all the next generation distributions.
Okay.
It's under the,
Well, that's true.
it's in the emulation file.
Well, that's true.
Emulation directory.
That's
And
true.
sometimes you have to rename the stupid things depending on what version emulator you're using.
Okay.
But
That's right there, though.
but they're all there.
Yeah, we have that with
Since
the
the SAM, they've been there.
yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Was the Android stuff emulations for Amiga stuff, Forever stuff is in there.
Yeah, just attend Ami West
So
and
if
get
they-
it for free from Clonto,
That's it.
right? If they come again.
Yeah, he will.
Well,
Sure.
you know,
Yeah,
if you buy a
yeah. He
Amiga
helped me set up
Forever,
the emulator on my tablet, and now I'm moving everything that was on the tablet to this phone here.
So in the WHDLoad, it gives you options for where to put the Kickstarts, and you can actually go in and change configuration files and put things wherever you want to, if I understand it. But I like to say if there's a default, just go with it.
Sure.
And they were saying in the devs volume to make a Kickstarts folder. And then so I'll just copy that in, and when we copy it in, you'll see that it's got these RTB files. So, and you can see these are the version numbers, these naming formats they specify in the WHDLoad documentation. So, but it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you can obviously see there's a, yeah. So, but it's really not that much because there's a Kickstart and an RTB, so there's really only like 5 Kickstart options that they recommend putting in there. So,
3.3. 2A.
Bring this down. And then there was a couple of other pieces of software they asked you to load. The first one is Class Act, which that one, I copied the description here, a set of over 30 Boopsy classes authored by a bunch of dudes. Class Act provides object-oriented building blocks for your application in the form of intuition Boopsy classes. The other piece of software.
Where the Class Act is like the precursor to like Reaction that's in 3.5, 3.9.
Yeah, yeah.
So if 3.1 doesn't have Reaction, so you have to use Class Act for like this, maybe even like AWeb or something.
Well, and that makes sense because it talks about, so I don't know if I copied all that in there, but it did talk about resizable windowing and stuff like that that Class Act provides.
Yeah.
So, Class Act was actually a lot of steps when we installed it. So, the standard.
Damn.
Oh, I haven't completed. Wait a minute.
Well, the installation log is named as blank.
You missed something.
I wonder if my hard drive actually. I did so many tests of this, maybe I actually had this one preloaded on this one. Which is a shame because this is the one
So
that
actually,
has a ton of.
I mean, it prompted you a lot more stuff before or something?
Oh, wait a minute, no, I'm wrong. No, Class Act is like that. No, we're good. It's New Icons V4 that has the biggest.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that was the other thing, and I noticed before when I first did this, I'm like, why do we need Class Acts and new icons? I'm not going to do that, and I skipped those steps, and I did an installer, and it worked technically, but the software I installed was very much like the on my WHDLoad. You see my icons are kind of screwed up here.
Yeah, you couldn't see anything.
So everything they installed with WHDLoad had no icons.
Yeah.
And then I went in after the fact and loaded these guys, and boom, beautiful icons appeared.
There you go.
So I thought, okay, that's really important. Same with the kickstarts. At first, I'm like, I'm not gonna do no stinking kickstarts, and then the software would start.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, those kickstarts are important. It
Yeah.
goes in there.
We put them in those air for a reason. Yes, please use them.
So, all right.
So how long did it take you to do this?
To do what?
To put this program, gather all this stuff together? Run it?
Oh, it probably took me a couple, 3 hours to get a working WHD install, and probably about that much time to document it and get ready to show.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Good.
So let's see here. So now let's do the new icons. There we go. So, this is the one. Install for real.
I always thought that was.
Let's take the defaults here.
Oh, this is a different.
Pardon?
It has diff icons as well, so it has like default icons.
Oh, yeah.
The builder data.
So I have to say proceed. Computer setup.
Yeah, when these installers started showing up, I really enjoyed them.
Yeah. So I left it at new end.
Yeah.
Like I said, just doing defaults to get through the install.
Boy, I'm missing the diskettes grinding.
We'll add a sound effect for you.
The default there.
So quiet.
50% done.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I know. Well, that's the emulation. Don't.
So at this point,
Just you could do it on the
drawer
phone.
utilities allows you to select and install the drawer image of your choice to all subdirectories in a drawer or partition. Would you like to update some partitions or subdirectories with a new drawer image now? I started, when I first put this in, I did that and it took me through a whole bunch of other options and screens. But I found for demo purposes, I can say no and everything's going to work. At least that's what I think.
Okay.
It's a demo. What could go
Once
wrong?
again, it's asking if you want to, this part of the installer will customize the disk images that appear in Workbench, your hard drive partition, etc.
It's only being broadcast, right?
show up.
And part of that was because when I was putting this together, I'm not really super concerned about the way my default instance looks, my default desktop and all. I'm happy with the classic look and feel. I just wanted the stuff to get in there so that when WHDLoad finished, it would have its icons and those would look normal. So
Even for emulation, that's nice.
So this is basically just saying we're gonna archive off your old default icons, and I say yeah, put it in a storage drawer for me. I'm happy with that. And then where would you like new icon documentation guide to be installed and help? That sounds brilliant. We'll do that. And then it comes up with this little bit here that says, if you installed new icon, you must add a line to your S startup sequence. I'm like, wow, I've never messed with that before.
That's
And then wants us to put in a CPatch open workbench or WB to fix a bug in the 3.x operating system. Well, I'm like, wow, I chose a 3.x operating system, so I probably should do this instead.
Oh, I wonder if 3.1.4 doesn't have a bug anymore. That's still 3.x.
I don't know. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, I mean, I think
Fix it twice.
sometimes when people say 3.x now, you don't really know. You have to be careful with the old software.
So I'll say proceed, and then it basically says you're done, you need to reboot. Proceed. So before I reboot,
So change all these.
so we'll get out to our shell.
Shells, right?
Is that the right?
Oh, no, it should be in the startup sequence, actually.
Yeah.
Oh, did I put in the wrong file?
Yeah, shell startup is not startup sequence.
Oh.
Because if you patch this, it may never come back again. That's right.
We shall repatch his way again.
There you go.
There.
That's where I'm probably looking for the wrong things, the wrong place.
Is this an Amiga 4 emulation, or is it yours?
I think so.
Put it here towards the end.
After those.
Oh, it's a workbench path.
Let's see here. Because I think I've been putting this in the wrong file and it's been working. So let's put it in this file and see what happens.
Well, as long as it's in the path, it'll see it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the weird part.
Sometimes things work better in the way you thought it was supposed to.
Think outside the box. That's all you can do.
Well, unless you're a cat, boxes are necessary to thinking.
Here.
I gotta reload
Reboot.
Yeah.
So if all of that went well, WHDLoad is on the system and we're ready to start loading in our software.
Nice. You've got nice new icons up there.
Yeah. Looks like my icons on my 3000.
So I'm going to go to this folder here where I have I've downloaded a couple of installers. I'm going to do Bard's Tale. It's a older game I played ages ago. The nice thing about Bard's Tale is I did confirm it needs a 1.3 ROM to function properly.
Wow.
So if it comes up, then we know that the Kickstart piece is working right. I don't think I bought the Wings discs. Wings was another one I tried, but with it being a newer game, when I first did that one, it uses the 3.1 ROM, so it didn't do any ROM swapping on that one. It wasn't a good test to see if that piece was working right.
Good point.
So anyway, you download these installers and kick off the install, and we'll get our intermediate installation. Proceed, do it for real, no logging. This is a little confusing. This little README comes up. Talks about some of the requirements, which to tell you the truth, I've never really fully read. Partially because it confused the heck out of me, because I was like, okay, here's this README, where's the proceed button? And I scroll down, I scroll up, like there's no proceed button. I'm like, my system broke, but it's just like a little file that pops up in the way there. You just close it down.
Where's the README file?
Exactly. It's popped up a text file for you.
Here, read this while we're doing stuff in the background.
Yeah.
So,
Go have some coffee. Read this. Take an hour.
so this is one place for the first time where I'm going to override defaults. So since I ran this from my WHD volume, it's like, let's install these games to the WHD volume. I said, oh no, I think I'd really rather have a separate volume of games for that. So select my games volume and say proceed. And then it's going to start asking for the actual original game discs. So obviously if we were doing this on our 4000 or 2000 or what have you, we'd be putting in the actual original game discs now. But since we're not, the magic of emulation.
So did you just bring your own ADF files in to do this? For this? Did you have this disk, or were we able to download this ADF?
This is one that I just downloaded for the demo.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Here. File.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. You just give it a file. That works.
Not only that, it gave an icon.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just zips through it like you were doing a disk copy.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
My God.
Very nice.
Without no disk.
Right.
No physical disk.
No physical disk.
So it just uses track disk device to do this.
Emulation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's nice.
But actually,
Hey.
it's interesting that this part is actually much slower for some little reason. I mean, just
Well,
check
it's
this out.
emulating the Amiga
Well,
operating
then-
I think it's because
I mean,
the WHD volume, even though it's got the disk icon, was mounted as a hard drive. So I think it's just going as fast as the system will go. I think the default on Amiga Forever for floppies is to scale that down, to give you a more realistic floppy load
Oh,
experience.
yeah, that's right.
And I don't know why, but like on my 3000 emulation, it doesn't give all the disk sounds, but if I like say, give me a 500, it'll actually give me all the disk sounds through emulation. So I'll get a little chunk, looking for the disk, and then when I put it in, the whole deal there. So it's pretty
Well, I remember
cool.
the first generation for Amiga Forever, and I had it in the PC, and it was seeing the SCSI drives that I had on that I had plugged on the card. I was here listening, and I hear also doing the drive the drive check on the floppy. I'm like, it's like, oh wait, that was cool.
So in this particular game, the second disc is actually the character disc. It's not really a game disc, it's really just a save disc. But it asks you, assuming that you've been playing the game and you have your own character disc, it's like, oh, do you want to install your character disc too? And then
you can say no, but...
so you can say no, but I went ahead and I have the ADFs I copied down had a character disc. And this one is kind of interesting because it gives an option now, whether than just it is a physical disc on the first one, but on the character disc it's like, oh, are you a real disc? Are you standard? Are you loading your characters from another ADF disc image, or another image file type that I'm not terribly familiar with. I've read a little bit about them, but I've never used them. But through the emulation, it just considers it a real disk. So we'll say proceed, and we'll hop up here again and do a disk swap.
So are these LHA archives you're using?
These are ADFs.
Okay, so I couldn't see the screen. I just
Oh, yeah.
saw there were 3 characters. I couldn't
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
screen.
You might have noticed when we put in disk 1, it didn't auto-detect the disk was slipped in, but on the character disk, it auto-detected it and just went to town, so I didn't have to click proceed to go. So I just imagine that's, since these installers are kind of community driven, that they're probably just maybe not necessarily consistent in features that they implement across the installers or what have you.
Yeah.
Somebody get a chart to read.
I know that back in the latter half of the 80s, early 90s, that there was developers creating their
I know the person that worked on this game.
programs.
Several of the people that worked on this game.
Commodore didn't like it, but the developers, the first grade developers loved it.
Mm.
There it is.
So now in our games volume, we have a game installed.
Third developers, second developers went to the first, and the first looked over to the second and third.
When I first did it, we didn't get the
and
nice big
they say,
icon there.
This looks okay, this looks okay.
But now with all the
They say,
parts and
okay,
pieces
we'll
in, we
use
get
it.
that.
And that was it.
86.
Mm-hmm.
And if everything worked,
Nice.
we have a game running off the hard drive.
Ooh, yeah.
Very nice.
So
I know the people who worked on it.
WHDLoad has obviously.
This is 1985,
86.
this is a 1985 game.
This is the
I wonder what to put out the
beginning of year,
sound. You can
beginning
turn up the volume.
workbench up to, 1.3.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, sound through HDMI.
That 8-bit jazz. Hey, that shit has good sound. I didn't try the sound. That's the first time I heard the sound out of it.
There we go. We'll mute that for the moment. So.
Oh, the days
So
of
that's
those.
it. Yeah, they have lots of installers in the community. Like I said, since the installers do remove a lot of the copy protection, so you don't have to have key disks and stuff. If you do it with some of the disks that have been pre-cracked that are floating around the internet, they're saying, you know, you can try it, but it's not guaranteed to work because that binary stream has been modified. So the installer may actually destroy the game, putting it onto the hard drive for you.
Now, is there a menu system built in the WHD that can go in and find all your games that keep them in a nice, easily launchable?
Not built into WHD, but I did just a little brief look into that, and I think there are people that are making like kind of front end programs for it. But I haven't gotten far enough to installing any of those and playing with them.
Because I'm wondering if that's what Bill TechMage does every time he does his game demo. His games are in a nice menu. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
Yeah.
he does something like that.
Yeah, that's a utility.
Right.
And I forget where he gets it, but he does get it off of either Aminet or OS4 Depot. I think it's Aminet.
Yeah, I mean that.
It's a launcher. I've looked into it. I haven't done anything with it.
Oh, okay.
You could probably launch other programs too, something I'm not really seeing.
It's just a generic launcher.
Sure,
I mean, you can put games in it. You can put anything in it.
Yeah.
And so it'll give you a way. It's actually just a script window, basically. So whatever you drag in there, it just creates a little default script, and then you punch the button and it runs it.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's really simple.
I had it installed on
I should say
my
it's
version.
not simple for me because I could never do it. But
In general terms.
somebody else said it was really simple.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this might be nice because on my that 3000 I have, it has a lot of the installers there. So the person dropped them onto the drive in the partitions and everything like that. But I'm not sure if it's all there or they're there and are not reading it because there's certain scripts that might be able to help clean those up because they're the original programs, but they just seem to like dragged everything over after installing it so that if you needed to reinstall it, you had it there on the drive. But I don't think it's. I haven't tried playing with all of them because I don't want to fill up the drive with a double install or something like that or damage the installs that are there.
What about joysticks?
What about joysticks?
on this kind of stuff? I mean, how
For
do you,
emulation?
Yeah.
how do you get a joystick into that?
So the emulator, you can plug any USB compatible controller in there and use that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have.
In other words, as an interface.
Yeah. So I have like an old Atari 2600 style joystick that's got a USB end that I can plug into there and map it.
Mm-hmm.
And I've got a couple of different, like for the Sega, for the Nintendo 8-bit, and Super Nintendo. I've got those style of controllers remanufactured as USB.
Oh.
Use those as well.
Some of the ones that are serial port that have the adapter to USB will work also because they still have the same wiring that they had for the previous versions.
So where do you get the adapter? Just a plain old USB?
It's just a serial port to USB. Some of them, most of them come with it. I saw a Wing Command one come up. A lot of people keep that cord, that adapter cord for older sticks that were good.
But you could go to Fry's and buy one.
Yeah, you can get them
Plug it
online.
in.
I've seen them online. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah. That was my only curiosity because a lot of them use joysticks. You know.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty.
This works on next gen Amigas too, like the X5000, WHDLoad, all that.
I don't have an X5000.
We should put it. If there's one here, we could try it on one.
Like emulation,
Petunia or whatever.
Yeah, well, no, it's not Petunia.
It's running UAE.
Yeah.
Okay.
EUAE or something.
Yeah, you can set that up to do this.
And then it'll run Workbench and everything, and then on top of that, you would install WHDLoad and everything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it would run as it is on a 4.1 because it still needs access to the chipsets.
Isn't Petunia still part of the running of 68K? That's direct 68K.
Yeah, 68K, but it doesn't emulate the custom chips. Like
Gotcha.
chips
Okay, and that's where the UAE.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, and that's why they include it because all Petunia does is translate 68K code at machine language level into PowerPC code.
Exactly.
That's all it does. So if at the end of that it's still looking for something, it didn't provide it.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a pain, but it runs productivity software really well.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Well, that's
I
good.
like it.
Good demo.
Yeah,
Right.
great demo.
Great. Thank you. Good coding too.